All right, your car is finally here, and thank you for choosing Speed UTV. Todd and myself and everybody at Speed UTV appreciate you sticking with us and choosing us. This car here is going to be car 761. I'm going to do a walkthrough today and show you the basics of getting started with your Speed UTV. Your salesperson will take it from there and explain a little bit more, but this will be your introductory video, something you can go back and home and watch later, but let's also watch it before you receive your car today. So now we're gonna actually walk into the car. As you see, both doors open. The window nuts here, be careful not to hit your head on the way in, but I'll also show you the basics of just closing the door. So for me, when I climb in a Speed UTV, I get in. Before I put my seatbelts on, I get my seat adjusted where I'm comfortable, then I close my window net. And that allows me to pull on this little cord here, adjust it, push it up, do whatever I gotta do, make sure that this goes in all the way. Then I close my door, and then I put my seatbelts on. So that's just the basics of getting in the car and the easy way to do it. The reason I do that is if I'm in the car and I try to close it, it's very hard to get my hand here. I'm struggling with it, and then I'm struggling to get that latch, where if I do it the other way, close the window net first, close the door second, then put my seatbelts on. If I put my seatbelts on, I won't be able to reach all the way to the door handle. All right, so now we're in the vehicle, and I'm gonna power it up. So when I go to power up the vehicle, make sure I got keys. I have both of my keys. I'll check and make sure that I have my valet key, which is this little key here, and I also have the numbers on my keys right here. These keys will want to be separated. I would suggest taking the valet key with you just in case you lost it. Maybe put it over in the back seat or take it in your motorhome with you when you go on your trip so that you at least have it. Now, if the valet key is within a 20-inch radius of this button, it'll pick up the valet key, which will put you basically in what we call a limp mode. And that's I believe it's a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit, maybe 15-mile-an-hour speed limit, but it's just putting you into that mode. All right, so we've now gone in the vehicle. I have two keys. We have the valet key and the standard key. If you purchase a speed key, you get that later after 500 miles. And because the valet key is here, you see this S pop up. That is telling you you're in valet key mode. I like to operate on page 4. This is my favorite page to operate on because it gives me my engine RPM, my water temp, my oil temp. There is some safety parameter modes that a lot of people seem to forget, is the water temp and oil temp. You see here it says 78 and 82. That's what the temperatures are as we're sitting here right now. The motor will not run at peak performance before the oil temp gets to 160 degrees. Now, that does not mean you have to stay at camp until it gets to 160. I would like you to stay at camp till you see about 100 degrees of oil temp, and then you can go off and go driving. It won't make maximum boost, but it will help you increase your oil temp so that you can get maximum boost. Maximum boost comes on at 160 degrees. That's based on engine tolerances on the bearings and other things. Right here's our ethanol content. Gasoline has some ethanol in it. When you have your speed key, the speed key will be fully activated at 70% ethanol. It will also give you more power at 30% ethanol and 50% ethanol. This gauge right here is very important for us. That's our boost gauge. You see it sitting here at 14.5. That is the Earth's ambient pressure right now. Standard operating will be about 33 pounds on gasoline, between 32 and 33 boost on gasoline. And that's between 18 and 20 pounds of boost. Engine oil pressure is right here. Battery voltage, fuel pressure. Should be operating about 59 pounds of fuel pressure. And the four-wheel drive lever, you see there, it's two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, and lock will not go right now because it's got dogs on it. And if you're driving along slowly, turn the steering wheel left or right, those dogs will find a happy spot and they'll close in. So gear shifter, you see right here, I recommend running all the time in four-wheel drive. This is the best performance and the safest, as well as the most reliable on your components. Gear options you're seeing here with the shifter. This is in neutral. Park is up there. That is cars in lock, it will not roll. Reverse is there. Neutral is there. 1, 2, 3. All right. Let's go to starting the car. All right, so we're getting ready to get started, and I'm gonna go ahead and push the button. Push the button. It's not working. All right. What that's telling you is your key is not close enough to the fob. All right. So one thing you want to check. You don't do it every time, but bring your key close to the fob. Now it comes on. So I normally keep the key under the seat pad or in a pocket. Be careful putting it in the door. If it flies out, you'll lose it. And as you see, if you don't have a key fob, it will not start again. So the place I like to keep mine when I'm here is I pull this up, I put it inside this Velcro right inside the front side of the seat, and I know that it reaches it, and I know it's safe. So let's go ahead and keep your key fob right there for the time being. Make sure on this car that it reaches it. Perfect. If your car does not start, but it lights up, please hit the unlock button and make sure that you've got your key fob unlocked, allowing it to talk and allowing it to start, okay? So if you get power, but it won't start, hit the unlock button, hold your foot on the brake, push start. As you see, if I have power and I don't push my foot on the brake, it'll literally just shut back off every single time. But if I've got it powered up, apply brake pressure, now it'll start. So there's a very important startup procedure right there that you need to know. First, make sure your key's close enough to the fob. Second, make sure your key's unlocked if it's not starting. Most of the time it'll activate it and it'll be okay. But if it's not starting, push the unlock button, and from that point, make sure it starts. All right, so we've talked about closing the window nets, we've talked about starting, we've talked about four-wheel drive. If it struggles to go from two-wheel drive to four-wheel drive, literally you can do it at high speed or low speed. Just turn the steering wheel left and right so the differential dogs will find home and lock in. Very easy to do. A lot like an older Jeep back in the day. I did this because it's very reliable and very robust, less electronics. So four-wheel drive, we've talked about that. First gear. First gear is really for putting the car in the trailer, driving it in the garage, or rock crawling. First gear also has a different throttle mode. For the first half of the throttle, it has a different throttle curve. It'll seem very, very lazy, but what this does is if you're climbing rocks, it allows you to modulate the throttle without busting the tires loose and climb up the rocks. So first gear is our rock crawling gear. And your second gear is your normal running. And third is hard pack and pavement. Hard pack roads, no sand in third gear. All right, second gear is your sand gear. You'll take off in second, you'll stay in second. It is a dogged transmission, and you can go through it. We recommend always starting the car in neutral or park. But as you see, you can start the car in second gear. All right, but you got to remember, when you start it in second gear, you've applied brake pressure. The only reason it's not going forward is because brake pressure. Give it a little bit of gas, it's going to go forward right away. So we always recommend starting it in park or in neutral. The cars are pre-wired and for accessories. Okay, so this car has accessories for a roof light bar. This one does not have a bumper light bar. It's got its mirror lights. It has the chase bar for the back. If the chase bar is not working, let's walk back to the chase bar real quick, because a lot of times you'll turn the switch on here, chase bar won't be working. Because on highways, they don't like the chase bar. If you're driving in Arizona or one of those other locations, there's another switch right here. And this could turn on the chase bar, but it also changes your modes. All right? Remember, no blue lights on the highway, no blue lights anywhere but at a race because of safety. So don't forget, it can be activated back here at the back as well. So if you get a car with a chase bar and you want to call service right away and say, my chase bar is not working, do me a favor, make sure somebody didn't touch the switch back there in the back and shut it off, where we activate the modes as well. So this is a SPEED UTV, and this is the basic walkthrough. One thing as a driver, please remember you're always responsible for your passengers. So what I like to do is I like to make sure my passengers' seatbelts are all buckled, that they've got their crotch strap set right at the belt buckle height. So we grab the seatbelt the right position. You don't want that up here. You don't want it too low. You want it right about where the belt buckle is. So that is adjustable right here. If you're gonna come in and adjust that, there's a little D-clamp right here, and you can loosen it right here. It's all done so you can do it above the seat, but you can loosen that up. Say you want to go up 2 inches, you can move that up 2 inches. Now that's going to let that come up 2 inches, and you got 2 inches more of your adjustment. All right. If you want more adjustment, you could lower the D-ring down to the bottom. That could be another 2 inches of adjustment just right there. But there should be plenty of adjustment right here for you. Right here we have our new kid seat in the back. One thing I like about our kid seat compared to everybody else's, it fits our seat perfect. The seat belts go actually all the way through both seats and hold the passenger in. The seat belt shoulder belts go right through the shoulder passages just like they are. And the seats sit perfect to where the kids should be in there. The other thing nice about this, it's got about a 10-inch riser so that when they're sitting in the car, their heads are right here. They can actually see. If you don't have that 10-inch riser, imagine their heads down there. They're not seeing anything going on outside. They don't know anything but the back of your seat and the back of your head. This is a custom-built SPEED seat that we designed. We also did this so that kids can actually see out this area, and this allows a better visibility for the rear passenger. Normally it's adults and kids in the back, so it's got this little 3-inch drop here that worked out really well because this door on a 2-seater actually matches right here, but on a 4-seater it gives us a nice little style and allows the passenger or the kid in the back to sit a little bit lower and see. All right, most important thing, safety at all times. Make sure you put on your helmet, make sure your passengers are seat belted in, and please do not drink and drive when you're driving a SPEED UTV.